4 days. That's how long the celebration lasted. On August 4th, 2026, KATSEYE premiered their first documentary. It's called Wild Hearts. Cameras following 5 girls from 5 different backgrounds, built into one group, turned into one of the biggest new acts on the planet. It was supposed to be the victory lap. Proof that the experiment worked. 4 days later, on August 7th, a statement goes up. Quiet, careful, corporate. Sophia Laforteza, the leader, the one who scored highest of anyone in the entire competition that built this group from scratch, is stepping away. Temporary hiatus, they call it. Mental health. We'll reassess in September. And if you've been paying attention to this group for longer than 4 days, that sentence should have hit you like déjà vu. Because 6 months earlier, word for word, almost exactly the same statement went up about a different member. And as of right now, filming this video, she still hasn't come back. So here's the real question. Is KATSEYE just a group having an unlucky year? Or is there something underneath the surface that keeps producing the exact same outcome? Stick with me, because the deeper you go into this timeline, the stranger it gets. August 7th. Hybe and Geffen, the 2 companies jointly running KATSEYE, post a joint statement. Sophia will be temporarily unable to participate in upcoming promotional activities. Medical professionals advised extended rest and ongoing care to ensure a full recovery. They'll check back in on her in September. Sophia posted her own words too, and I think you need to actually hear them, not just the headline version. It truly breaks my heart to have to miss out on a lot. You know how much I love being on stage, performing, and sharing these moments with you. I'm realizing that if I don't take care of my mind and body now, I won't be able to keep doing what I love the most for so long. Now hold that thought, because 1 week after this statement, on the August 14th, KATSEYE drops their 3rd EP, Wild. The leader who placed first in the competition that built this entire group will not be there for it. A promotional rollout that was supposed to be the biggest week of the group's career is instead happening with an empty chair where the leader should be. That's not a coincidence anyone can just scroll past. That's the moment this story actually starts. To understand why fans reacted to Sophia's hiatus the way they did, instantly, loudly, suspiciously, you have to go back 6 months. Because this isn't the first time this group has made this exact announcement. February 20th, 2026. Same group. Same format. Manon Bannerman, one of 6 members, the group's only Black member, is announced to be taking a temporary hiatus to focus on her health and well-being. Warm language, vague language. We fully support this decision, the company said. But something broke the pattern almost immediately. Manon posted her own message, and it didn't match the script. I am healthy, she wrote. Not recovering, not resting. Healthy. I'm taking care of myself. Sometimes things unfold in ways we don't fully control. Read those 2 statements side by side. The company says, health-related hiatus. The member says, I am healthy. That gap, that one sentence not lining up with the official story, is the exact moment this stopped being a normal idol break and became something fans started actively investigating. And here's the part that should really catch your attention. That hiatus never ended. Manon missed the group's entire next era. She skipped Coachella in April, despite being spotted at the festival itself, just never on stage. When press asked Hybe directly what was going on, their entire response was 4 words. Manon remains on hiatus. Then, with no announcement at all, she quietly deleted KATSEYE from her Instagram bio. 6 months later, right now, as this video is going up, there's still no official exit, and still no return. She's not officially gone. She's just not here. Here's what most casual coverage of Manon's hiatus leaves out, and it's the piece that actually explains why this became such a firestorm, instead of just fading into the background like most idol health breaks do. Days, not weeks, days, before that hiatus was announced, Manon gave two separate interviews, to The Cut and to Nylon, where she talked about something she'd apparently been carrying for a while. She described being called lazy during her time on the competition show for missing practices, and she said this, almost verbatim, "Being called lazy, especially as a black girl, is not fair. Now I feel like I always need to put in extra work to prove something, even though I really don't." Days after saying that publicly, she's gone. Fans didn't need anyone to connect those dots for them. Hashtags like Stand With Manon started trending almost immediately. And once people started looking for a pattern, they found more of it. A viral clip that had already been circulating of the group's youngest member, Yoonchae, getting repeatedly talked over and cut off mid-interview by her own groupmates. Criticism that had already been building over whether the choreography Yoonchae was given, at 17 years old, was ever appropriate to begin with. None of these were isolated. By the time Manon's hiatus happened, the internet wasn't reacting to one strange announcement. It was reacting to what felt, to a lot of people, like a group whose glossy "we're a family" branding didn't match what was actually showing up on camera. Which brings us back to right now. Present day. 2 hiatuses. Same company. Nearly identical statements. 6 months apart, almost to the week. Do the math on that for a second. Out of a 6-member group, a third of the lineup has stepped away at some point within a single calendar year. And this time, it's not the member who'd already gone on record describing how she'd been treated. It's the leader, the one who topped the entire competition. If even she needs to step back with a documentary and an EP riding on her presence, the question a lot of people are now asking isn't, is she okay? It's, what does this group keep doing to the people in it? So what's actually being said about this right now, today, across comment sections and fan forums? It's not one reaction. It's 4 distinct arguments happening at once, and I think all 4 deserve a fair hearing before you land on your own take. Camp 1, the pattern camp. 2 nearly identical statements, 6 months apart, both leaving more questions than answers, both landing at moments that were, at minimum, extremely inconvenient timing for a voluntary break. This camp isn't buying that it's a coincidence. Camp 2, the good faith camp. And they're not wrong to push back. K-pop has a well-documented, decades-long history of grinding artists past the point of collapse before anyone intervenes. 2 members choosing rest before burnout could genuinely be the system working the way it's supposed to, for once, instead of a cover story. Camp 3, the logistics camp. Less emotional, more practical. How does a global act built specifically around 6 people actually function, tour, and release music when a third of the lineup is intermittently unavailable? At what point does the group's whole identity have to change to survive this? Camp 4, the camp that hasn't let go of what Manon said in those interviews, and is watching closely to see whether Sophia's hiatus gets treated with more sympathy, faster than Manon's initially was. 4 separate conversations, same 6 people, same week. There's a real concrete date to watch here, and it's not vague. September. That's when the company said they'd reassess Sophia's status. Not eventually. September. If both members are back, performing, present for the next comeback, this becomes a story about a group that had a genuinely rough year and made it through anyway. If either hiatus quietly extends past that date, the way Manon's already has for 6 months, and counting, expect the "is this group actually sustainable" conversation to get a lot louder, a lot faster than it already is. There's also a version of this where the group itself changes shape. Hybe and Geffen leaning into sub-units, a more flexible lineup model, since KATSEYE's whole concept was already built on breaking K-pop conventions in the first place. But honestly, my genuine read is real trouble, not growing pains, not an unlucky year. When a hiatus turns into an indefinite absence, that's not neutral. there's always something lurking underneath it. We've seen this play out with other K-pop groups before, more than once, and it rarely resolves as cleanly as she just needed rest. And look, I don't believe in curses. But it's hard not to notice that this is yet another hype girl group dealing with this exact kind of internal instability. Call it a pattern, call it a structural issue with how these groups are being run. I'm not going to call it a curse, but I understand why fans keep bringing that word up. Here's my actual prediction. I don't think Manon is coming back. 6 months of silence, a deleted bio, a company that said 4 words about her status since February. That's not what an active member's situation looks like. And even if Sophia does return later this year, I think history repeats itself here. Almost every group that's gone through a hiatus like this eventually has another member hit the same wall. I hate to say it, but I think this group is heading toward disbandment. Maybe not this year, but eventually. So where does that leave KATSEYE? One of the most commercially successful new pop groups on the planet. And, at the exact same time, a group where a third of its lineup has stepped away within 12 months, with real, unresolved questions about how the people inside it have actually been treated. Both of those things are true right now, at the same time, and nobody, not the company, not the members, not us, actually knows yet how they get reconciled. What's your honest read? Does KATSEYE come back together at full strength? Or is this the beginning of something bigger? Tell me in the comments below. Subscribe if you want the deep dives everyone in K-pop and K-drama is actually talking about. See you in the next one.